So as you can see, my 5 watts covered pretty good, but I only made one contact. So like I say, I'm hoping it's just I'm deaf at this location because of noise. So we'll see how that goes. But not bad coverage for 5 watts as far as that's concerned. I'm going to try doing some ham stuff today. It's Sunday. This is going to be our last week here. It looks like we're going to have roughly 5 weeks total. One thing I did notice, I'm not really working on the noise on this trip, but I'm going to try to get this better. Like I say, I used just those BNC banana clip things with no balun or anything like that, and it works great when you're completely in the wilderness, but not so great. Also, it picks up the RFI from the air conditioner like crazy with the antenna over the top. So, and this is really the first time I'm doing it exactly in this scenario where the antenna is right over the camper and it's warm enough to have the AC running. I know I did this last year. I know I did a video about the fishing pole version I tested over the camper, but it was cool. We weren't running AC or anything. So there was no interference, and we were in Decorah, out in this campsite way out in nowhere. Plus COVID, not a lot of people were camping, so compared to normal, and it just wasn't, there wasn't any RFI, so it worked great, but clearly it's not going to work in an environment very well like this. So I will be making some changes over time with the camper. It's going to be a little harder because I won't really be able to have a full opportunity to test the same scenarios all the same times. I'm going to get some stuff so that next time I do this, I'll be prepared. I'll have a balun and stuff like that, and just do it right and see if any of that helps. So, I mean, it may make no difference, but yeah, that's where I'm at with that so far. So today, unless I lost it, I'm going to try to do some digital stuff on my radio. So I'm going to get that all set up. Well, I guess that's not going to happen. My USB-C adapter fell apart. Alright, so I decided to get me a laptop for my ham stuff. I love my MacBook. Well, let me rephrase that. I love MacBooks in general until they came out with the 2019 one. It sucks. But I'm hoping that they'll get rid of that touch bar and go back to a normal keyboard on their 16-inch. That would be really nice. I hate anything touch. I just want real keys. Unless it's a tablet, I don't think you need touch, but that's just my opinion. In any case, the issues I'm running in with it is I want to have a dedicated machine that's just set up. I plug it in, use it, it's ready to go. My laptop, I really have it configured. All the software is configured on that to use my Flex radio at home. So like when I'm downstairs or whatever and I'm remotely connected to the Flex radio that's upstairs. And then of course all my upstairs Macs, they work great for it because I got it all configured and set up. But the issue I have is, again, the new Macs don't have regular USB, so then I'm going to have adapters and all that, and it just doesn't work well for the portable thing. Now I'm not looking for tiny portable, at least not right now. Again, with my vision, if I go too tiny, it's not practical because it'll just be frustrating and annoying, and that's one reason why I actually don't really enjoy using a tablet with my 817ND either, and I really haven't pursued that. It's just a hassle for me. Most of my life, I can see pretty good now for the most part, but most of my life I haven't been able to, and I haven't been able to see well, and so I'm very much text in, text out, keyboard input. I don't really like GUIs, although I use them, but it just, the less all that I have to worry about, the better. And so I decided to just get me this laptop. They had it at Walmart for $219. They only had one color. It's like a pink color, but at least it's not bright pink. It's like that rose pink or something. So, but it's a Windows 10 14-inch Celeron 4 gig and 64 gig. This is plenty for doing WinLink and that kind of stuff, and for basically $200 I said let's go with it. I'm not worried about power consumption. The simple fact is, unless you're using something like a tablet or something like that, this is probably going to use the least amount of power consumption compared to some laptops, because it is all pretty much solid state as far as, you know, the eMMC for the storage. And I don't know if it even has a fan, but it does have 2 USB ports, and so that's what I was looking for. Basic, running Windows 10. I may at some point put Linux on there, but I don't think I will. I'm not a fan of Windows, but I think being this is just only going to be used for ham stuff, it'll be fine. It's not like I'm going to be installing a ton of apps. It's just going to have what it has, and I'm not going to use it for anything else. And generally Windows, when you don't go screwing around adding 20 million applications, it's okay. So I'm going to be having WinLink on here, JS8, FLDigi, and some logging software, and that's pretty much all this is going to have. So I think it'll be quite adequate for that. It is pretty much all solid state. There's probably not even a fan, so no moving parts. So from battery aspect, it's probably going to be fine. It is a 14-inch screen. Again, I wasn't worried about super portable, because again, too small for me is actually more frustration than enjoyment. So let's get this thing open and get started. This isn't a bad little screen. It's not a bad little computer for $200. Again, I wouldn't want to rely on it for day-to-day use. Alright, I got them all downloaded. Vara, FLDigi, WSJTX, JSCall, and WinLink. Now to get everything set up. Alright, so here's the update with my ham stuff. So that $200 computer has ran on the battery literally all day. Not with me actually doing stuff on it all day, but it's been going all day. I finally made my first contact. I've got it configured for WinLink and FT8. I haven't done JS8 yet, but I wasn't able to get WinLink to work. I do think that it's an issue of too much noise here in Delta where we're at, and I've got to figure out how to deal with that the next time I come visit. But I did finally make one contact by FT8, the 1,222 miles, to that guy, K4QAL. See, oh, you love all that flicker. 1,222 miles. I was having some other issues getting WinLink to work with my FT-817, and it turns out it was really easy, but I just wasn't seeing it. So when you're in your WinLink session and you go into settings, you go into settings, radio setup, and basically it was right here. This was a little weird and confusing me the way this was. It was set to external, and I thought that's where it needed to be, but it doesn't. So on the 817, you go down and you look for 8x7. Why 8x7? So right there. That's what you actually want. Why 8x7 for like any of the Yaesu radios. And then the push to talk will actually start working. I thought that was a little weird, the way that configured, but that took care of it. By the time I figured that out, I hadn't heard anybody else doing WinLink. Earlier today, I did hear somebody on WinLink sending an email, but I couldn't get the push to talk to work to even know if that was a WinLink server or just somebody sending email to a WinLink server. I don't know what it was. So I'm hoping it's just a noise issue I have to work out. When I looked at pskreporter.info, it did show with FT8 that I was pretty much covering the entire United States with my 5 watts. I can show you that. But it literally took all this time just to get one contact to go through. So maybe I just can't hear because of all the noise here and I'm just deaf. So still have to do some work with this setup in my camper to make sure it actually works as nice as things work at my house. Especially here in Delta where it's high noise. I think this is a perfect place for me to, next time I come back here, I'll really hone in and try to make it work really well here. If I can get it to work really well here, then I already know it'll be good other places where you don't have much noise. Like last year at Decorah with the campsite, there just wasn't much noise. So, but here I am on PSK Reporter. So as you can see, my 5 watts covered pretty good, but I only made one contact. So Like I say, I'm hoping it's just I'm deaf at this location because of noise. So we'll see how that goes. But not bad coverage for 5 watts as far as that's concerned.